Hello, it's Liz, and I have created another flow style junk journal book, which I'm going to be putting up for sale and wanted to do a little video on it. I apologize in advance for my voice. I'm having a terrible time with allergies at the moment, and I apologize that you have to listen to me if you want to see the book, but there it is. This is a flow style junk journal book that is made for you to use the parts in your own junk journals and crafts. It's made in the cover of an existing book which I've taken apart. It's got 5 signatures which are being held together with embroidery floss and a lovely bead decor on it, which you can take apart if you'd so like. This book is designed with 5 signatures which you can pull out and you can replace your own signatures. You can remove this binding and finish the cover in some different way if you'd like, and then put it back together. It's pretty versatile that way. Let's go ahead and get started. I left the end paper, it's pretty blue in case you want to use it, and generally the first page comes along with that as well. Here's the first signature. And these are double-sided, heavier weight scrapbook papers that have lovely pockets with washi tape holding them together. And I have 5 different fibers wrapped around playing cards. I've got 5 different pieces of batik fabric, a couple of fabric scraps in here, and a pop-up card, and piece of paper, and a bingo card here for you to play with. This is from an antique trip I did earlier in the year. This is an inventory sheet from a tire store. Got lots of lovely artwork in this book. I just love using existing artwork. People who are more talented than me, I might as well incorporate it into the book. Another piece of scrap paper. This is double-sided as well. Homemade tag. I think I have 20 different pieces of paper in here with stamping on them. They are all done in the Ranger permanent ink so that you can then embellish them yourself. A piece of paper and the playing card. This is from a wonderful seed catalog, which I just love. They have fantastic pictures. A French dictionary page. Page of newspaper covers from history. Double-sided scrapbook paper, stamped image, scrapbook paper, and a homemade tag with text on it for you to embellish. This is from a Harry Potter coloring book. Fantastic images in that. It's from a book on making furniture. Wonderful book on birds, double-sided. This is a sprayed page that I've made with stencils. I think I have 5 different envelopes and pieces of stationery in here. There's stationery inside. And the back sides of a lot of these pages. Another stamped image. This is one of my favorites. I love this little fairy with the wand and the text. This is a wonderful painting by Pissarro. I got these at the dollar store. They're little stick-on round stickers, and I thought they would be great for flower centers. Some cards and a stamped sentiment here. And back sides of these other pages. This is a lined page that came from a journal. Has a shadow print of a hydrangea on it. I just love it. And wonderful colors in these prints. And this is the back of the first signature, and I believe there are 5 different napkins in here. Some stamped sentiments, scrapbook paper, and this is a fake piece of money that is vintage, and it's on that sort of parchmenty paper that you find reproductional documents made on. And the second signature, again double-sided, fiber on a card, piece of batik fabric, and here we have another double-sided card. This one is embossed. I don't know if you have access to an embossing machine, but those are fun to play with. And this is from a cute little set of cookbooks that I got. Oh, blank playing card that has wonderful illustrations in it. It's all about too many fruits. This one is too many apples, I think. From categories, a game piece. Stuff those back in the pocket there. Wonderful old painting. Music. My parents' church was replacing their hymnals not long ago, and I picked up a couple of those. And again, a double-sided piece of card, an embellished paper clip. These are some little stamped images you can cut out. A little bag, a piece of scrapbook paper, and then the two-sided, heavier scrapbook paper. It's from a book of birds that helps you recognize the outlines of birds when you can't see their coloring and things. This is a page from a book that's designed to help you remember birthdays, and so it has the month and day of every year you can write in your favorite birthdays. Purple scrapbook paper. This is a stamped image of a crafter, which I tend to do in purple just because I like it in purple. And a little sentiment there. This is a piece of wallpaper. The wallpaper books got me started in junk journaling several years ago. Poem. This is from a journal of contemporary science fiction fantasy artwork, which I love. It's got some interesting images. Very vintage book page. This actually is Chinese, I believe. Learning Chinese. This is a post-it note designed to be colored in. You can pick it up and move it. Beautiful stamped image. Love this one. This is another piece of cardstock, double-sided. And it is attached to a double-sided piece of that heavier weight scrapbook paper. Scrapbook paper, pretty ballerina, and on the back side, a playing card from a Scrabble card game. Double-sided piece of stock. This cute one, also double-sided. It says Notes from the Sea. Another sprayed piece of paper. This has little tattered angels on it, so it's got a hint of a glittery substance in it. And a piece of stationery. Back of that. And another stamped image of a butterfly, a homemade tag, scrapbook paper. These two are single-sided. And then that is on a double-sided piece of scrapbook paper as well. These are some wonderful botanical prints that my husband has been making. We found this vintage book. It says The Normal Fourth Reader, and he's been superimposing wonderful public domain images on them. These are morning glories, one of my favorite flowers. Wonderful print, Chinese. Here are some more of the images from that science fiction and fantasy collection. That is the back of the poetry book. And here we have a couple of stamps. I love these vintage packaging stamps. And double-sided, both of these. And that's the wallpaper. And another stamped image. These are actually 3 pieces here. And a double-sided piece of paper, double-sided. I like that little color story. I thought that went together well. And again, music. Wonderful prints. And the back pocket here. A double-sided stamped image. Some fun money. And a wonderful napkin. I just love doing the decoupage with the napkins. Alright, signature number 3. Blue fuzzy yarn and a blue batik. And this is a sort of a nothing image that I decoupaged onto a text page just to see how it looked. That was pretty good. Bingo card, double-sided scrapbook paper, double-sided. This is a cute little note card with cats on it. And I just love this double-sided scrapbook paper with persimmons perhaps on them. Let's see, artwork, and double-sided scrapbook paper, little paper bag, and these have another nice little color story here with the vintage yellow and green. And a map. I just love taking apart atlases. They look great in books. Larger piece of sheet music. Anything you can do, I can do better. It's a wonderful book on plants of the Southwest that I got. I love incorporating these little holes from these bound books into my scrapbooks. This is a book on interpreting art. This is a wonderful illustration from a series of children's books I've been taking apart. And again, another sprayed page. This is a book of illustrators and typographers, I believe. It's all in French. And double-sided scrapbook page. This is a great book from 1959. It's an instructional guide for sign painters. So it's got how to lay out the sign and paint it in layers so that it shows through glass correctly. Scrapbook paper. This is a 20th anniversary Trivial Pursuit game. Loved to play that when I was in high school. A stamped image, scrapbook paper. This is the double-sided. This is a card with a chimpanzee on it. It's just so cute. This is a book on Japanese, I believe. And some pattern paper for you to play with. There's quite a bit folded up here. Wonderful images. Great for stamping. It's another piece of stationery, and on the inside of this is a cardinal that's quite nice. The back sides of some of these pages and cards. This is a playing card for breast cancer, and you'll notice on the, well, not on this one, but on the others, instead of printing it in red, they printed it in pink, which is quite cute. Decorated paperclip. Card that says love, and the back sides of a couple of these pieces of paper. This is a stamped page with some of the sentiments that I have you can cut out and use, and double-sided paper, spray painted, back sides of a lot of these pages. This is a book from Escher's artwork. I love Escher. I love the This is a very famous picture where the hand is painting the cuff. The back of this signature. I love this timepiece, and it went so well with this piece of paper. And double-sided cardstock. Double-sided. This is an old bridge score pad and a very nice napkin. This is one of my favorite napkins to decoupage. Tuck those back in there. Signature number 4. Red batik. Some pink, not quite ribbon trim perhaps. And these are some Martha Stewart labels that I found. Piece of paper. This is a great find from our antiquing trip. This is a checkbook from the International Order of Oddfellows, and I just love the artwork. It's from 1968. This was a check for lights. And again, a double-sided piece of scrapbook paper. Tuck those back in there. I love the colors in this particular painting. It's so rich. And some poetry, playing card, and these are car themed. And on the back it's blue, piece of blue, lovely double-sided scrapbook paper. This is from 1959. It's from a magazine called Hobbies, and it's got great classified ads and articles about things that people collect and do. Another sprayed page. Double-sided scrapbook paper. This is from a collection of cards that I got identifying different plants and talking about their properties. This is carob. And some scrapbook paper. Double-sided. This one says Loving Life on the back. piece of lined paper. This is from a fantastic book about mixed media artists and a collection project that they did. I think it's 14 different artists. Each started a journal with a different color theme and they sent them around. This one is violet and yellow, showing some of the images. Put that in for a little inspiration. Vintage book page. This is wonderful gridded green paper. Book on gardening and identifying flowers. Scrapbook paper. This has wonderful decorative ink splatter on it. I was thinking you'd recycle that. This is from a magazine from, I believe, 1944. And there's a vintage ad in here for teal liquid dentifrice, which we now refer to as toothpaste. And also a book of watercolor flowers mixed in with religious poetry, if you're not into that little creative cutting or putting something over those. This is a wonderful Christmas card. I just love the little detail on the ball there. This is a piece of paper that you can't see, but it has a wonderful speckled texture. Let's see the back sides of some of these. Another vintage ad from that I think it's 1944, because the war is still going on. And scrapbook paper, flower, violet and yellow again. These are just gorgeous. Some lined paper, double-sided scrapbook, square page. The back sides of all of these. There we go, something else. And this has lots of little things you may be able to cut up if you would prefer to use it that way. This is a children's card, double-sided scrapbook paper. And again, poetry, the back of the signature. Single-sided scrapbook paper. It's a lovely, rich, deep color. This is from a book, which I believe is a music teacher's, not a book, a card file, as inspiration and little music for them to use when they're teaching. A stamped image. Double-sided cardstock, another one of my favorite napkins. I'm really attracted to the fall color floral type napkins. And signature number 5. Another piece of batik fabric. Some shiny silver and white trim wrapped around a playing card. And these all have washi tape holding. I was almost done when my memory card filled up, so forgive the brief pause there. This is another souvenir of my antiquing down south. I found a wonderful old receipt book. This comes with 2 receipts. Put those things back in the pocket here. And then we're in the last signature here. Put this wonderful craft envelope in just because it's gorgeous. And some scrapbook paper, double-sided. Love this. And homemade tag, more scrapbook paper, some wonderful pictures. This is from an astronomy book showing the different constellations. This is just an envelope. It's from a wonderful old book teaching electricians how to do different things. This is about trains and why the third rail is dangerous. This is a double-sided piece of scrapbook paper, and again a couple of cards with it, double-sided. This one is also double-sided. Love the pretty greens for that color story there. And some gridded paper, lovely little picture with poem. This is from a stamp collector's book. This is the Cayman Island page, and they have the pre-printed stamps that you might like to put in there. This is Central Lithuania, which I don't remember being a country. Sprayed page, dictionary page, again double-sided scrapbook paper and a stamped image, which is upside down. Homemade tag and some scrapbook paper. It's got feathers on the back side. This is from a book of illustrations about animals. They have them mostly correct. Some of these vintage books with pictures of animals are a little bit bizarre. This is from a book that has wonderful, almost illustrated manuscript initial caps in it. And the trims around the pages are very nice, a little gold. Put in a couple of pieces of colored tissue paper, which is always fun to crinkle up and decoupage on things. Another piece of stationery. There's a little bit of silver twinkle in that as well. And the back sides of some of these pages. It's a wonderful Tim Holtz stamp. I love these, the collections that he does of the stamps. And scrapbook paper, and a double-sided tag, and a couple other pieces of paper. I have a lot of paper clips in this book too. I haven't embellished very many of them, but there are lots of them. And stamped page. This is from a fantastic book of nature photographs and inspirational quotes. I just love them. And some wonderful old art. Some wonderful greens here again. This one is a little bit shiny. And that one's single-sided. Beiges and greens. It has a brick on the back. There we go. Again, the electrical handbook. And in the other half of the envelope, I have put a package from some washi tape I got for Christmas. I saved all the boxes because they were gorgeous, and people who are more creative than I am can snip those pieces out and use them for something. I have them all loose from the boxes and the boxes in the drawer. So, constellations. Look at the wonderful rich colors in these paintings. There's a little brown color story. There's green on the back. That one's single-sided. That one's double-sided. With some text. And just a single piece of paper there. And the last pocket and the last signature. A carbon copy sheet. And this is an oversized playing card. And on each side of the card I have used washi tape to tape down 5 different swatches of fabric. These are 3 inches by 3 inch, left over from my quilting days. And there are 10 different washi tapes on here as well, which you may be able to rescue after you use the fabric and incorporate those. It's the last of the napkins. It's a wonderful gradation of color. This is one of my favorite scrapbook pages that I got, and unfortunately I think I only got one piece. It really hurt me to cut into it. It's little hummingbirds with gray text, just gorgeous, and then spots on the back. And then this is a double-sided piece as well. And that is the last signature. This book is going to be up for sale on Etsy, and I look forward to seeing what the buyer makes with it. Thanks so much for looking. Have a great day.